together.
We are indeed all alone together. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you might be in the world. It's just me and him, allegedly on 2 streams and
I hope we're on the right stream, Gary.
As we said last week, don't cross them. But I don't know what happened to LinkedIn last week. Yeah, this week it seems to work, and I did nothing different. What's in Mega Tesla's asking what's the difference between the streams? I think one's tall and thin, and one's
northern hemisphere, one's southern, I suppose.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely, northern and southern hemisphere. Good evening, Ian. You haven't really been upsetting people, but you've been discovering things. But now you're here. Look, dear viewer, if you want to step away for a second or two, and you might as well. But I do actually think that Ian's latest rendition is worthy of it. Thumbs up to tell me if you can hear the sound, gentlemen, when it comes.
Er knippert een lampje, daar boven de baan. Zaventem vraagt zich af, waar komt het vandaan? De radar is leeg, maar de spanning is groot. Een vliegende robot, het wordt onze dood. De pers staat al klaar voor het heetste bericht. Ze zien spoken vliegen in het felle avondlicht.
I was going to say, click the closed caption so you'll get the English.
I understand it. Jake Jones.
Er is fake news in de lucht. Geen droom, geen droom.
Geen.
Geloof je ogen niet. Geen droom, geen droom. Het is een droom. Niet. De kranten die koppen, het vliegveld ligt plat. Verhalen die ganzen nu dwars door de stad. Ze filmen de lucht met een trillende hand. En zaaien de pure paniek in het land. Maar kijk eens heel goed met je boerenverstand. Er is niets aan de hand in ons kleine land. Geen droom, geen droom. Er is fake news in de lucht. Geen droom, geen droom. Geloof je ogen niet. Geen droom, geen droom. Het is een droom. Echt niet.
I'm going to get a copyright strike for this, aren't I now?
Oh no, because it's the original track.
Het is een droom.
No, from you.
Oh yeah, I've not put it on Spotify yet, but so you're safe for now.
Voor een land aan de stad. Adem diep in en adem weer uit. Het is maar een doodgewoon motorgeluid.
This one is quite funny. It's quite good.
Een droom, echt niet.
Echt niet.
I had to put a sax solo in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
And lens flare.
Stop nu met dat gerucht. Geen droom.
It's pretty remarkable how your animation skills have come on.
Het is een helikopter. Check je bron. Trap er niet in. Geen droom, geen droom, geen droom.
He needs a crash helmet.
That's true. Yeah, and it'll fade out now. So that's my kind of nod to Eurovision.
But it remarkably, I think remarkably, today the Dutch have announced they're buying these to start doing the defence. And it is what it says on the tin. It is a drone gun system. And oh no, I didn't want that to happen here with my tabs. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? No. Share this tab instead. We'll go full screen with this. We don't need all the big. I hope that turned that down in the comments. But this is quite a serious bit of kit to be deployed on the side of airfields.
Serious for a civilian area. And for people who don't know, this is to go down at the port.
I don't see a problem.
Engage. Target.
Engage.
020.
Make it so.
Yes.
Checking.
You used an interesting word there, checking. That's something that we haven't been doing. Yeah,
Is it shooting? Is it water?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. BB gun. It's a giant BB gun. Yeah, no, that's
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 the
a bit-
Sky
speed
Ranger.
of that head's quite impressive. The
But
twist.
30 was that an Xbox controller? It probably was. It probably was, Mick. And I'm glad you're here, Mick, because in a similar vein, over in Belgium, they've decided to buy a load of these from a company called Drone Shield. And Mick very nicely tipped me the nod this morning that I'd missed that the Drone Shield bosses, all three of them, have sold their shares. All of a sudden, $17 million worth of shares. They've just gotten rid of them. So Peter James, Jethro Marks, and Mr. Vornick, have just dumped all their stock. I mean, I wonder
So they
why.
can invest in crypto.
Oh, God.
It's probably a better bet.
it probably is a better bet, isn't it? So that it's quite remarkable, isn't it, that the sales, the people selling these things are just going on.
I like
It's-
Rev B's comment, Rev B Zeros, about the
Right. Did the other 29 work? Those are bucks. What? I don't
what
understand.
was the
that.
name of that gun?
Oh yeah, what was it? Yeah, what wasn't it? Yeah, number 30. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Rev. I get it now. I'm tired. Yeah.
I was going to say that I suspect that's the to do with the shots, because it's a 30mm gun, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Stephen's in the pub. Good for you. And it's earlier because he's an hour ahead of me, so it's midnight in the pub for him. Good for you, mate. I obviously there's always been sort of hunter about these things, and it was Veeb that picked up on this. These drone guns, that they don't really work, and the fact that these people have dumped their stock and run away rather points it to me. I don't know why he's the main man saying safety, security, life threatening remarks towards him and his family. But what are we negative Nancy's going to say to this?
Nah.
Nah.
It doesn't hold water.
The problem they've got is the problem, the drone guns don't help with the problem we're getting here, which is they're making false positive sightings. You need detection gear, you need EOIR to get video evidence when there is something there. If you can't see something and you don't know where it is, you've got nothing to shoot those at. And then obviously there's the other problem is we know they're seeing a mistake in manned aviation, so they're going to be firing that at manned aviation. And given the fact no one's really checked the safety of these things, because as we know, they can affect hospital equipment and so on. And it's like, what other civilian consequences are from firing it about? Because if you put those in the hands of anyone, you're not going to get 100% responsible use. We never do. You give security guards CCTV, and before you know it, they're peering in somebody's flat. You'll always get someone that will dick about. And we're putting all these. It's effectively weaponry into
Give
people's
a prison officer a backside, and it'll be abused.
Yep. And it's not good when we don't. I don't think there will be. I'd be very surprised if someone's got a central register of where exactly everything is and when it's fired and so on. I mean, the way we're giving out jammer guns, we need the jammer gun version of RID that's recording it all and working out when people's firing stuff off. Because the moment we have an eVTOLs flying about, it's going to be especially dangerous when you get a drone panic and people saying lights. And the first thing that's going to be said is big drone and bang.
Yeah, but EHang have to have something to blame their crashes on.
Well, I think that Sky Ranger 30 thing, I think that'll shoot down a light aircraft. That's
I
only
think it actually says on the purposes of it, you could shoot down helicopters. So, unfortunately, if they have a panic like they have been doing, that's the kind of thing that will happen.
Yeah, I know the Mac. Yeah, I think it's just gone mad. It's all gone mad, and I'm sick of it. I don't know how we're gonna educate people or change people's minds or
I can't understand how we're allowing this kind of reckless, dangerous behavior, but we can't fly our tiny whoops in our bedroom.
Well, well, that's your New Zealand gig, isn't it? You had just this week that they're proposing, or they've got an NPRM, I think.
They put the NPRM out that suggested that you'd have to pass an exam to fly a tiny whoop in your hallway. And then after the feedback, they said, well, we actually have the right to, because people questioned, how can you regulate inside someone's house? And they said, we have the right and the responsibility to regulate all airspace indoors or out and private residences. And I'm thinking, yeah, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. But they have said that they will use discretion. They'll use discretion when regulating someone's drone flying activities within their own house. My goodness, that's great. I hate the word discretion when it comes to regulation, because what it means is this regulation is so poorly thought out that we may have to disregard it on some occasions. It's not a good regulation. Also opens it up to abuse. If the guy doing the investigation or the whatever gets out of the wrong side of the bed, or his wife had an argument with his wife, then you might end up being dealt to. Whereas if it had been a good day, you'd get away with it. You can't have this kind of subjective analysis. Either something is dangerous or it's not. You can't go for halfway ground.
No, absolutely. And yeah, good day, Mick. Have a lovely day at work. Yeah. And it's like these regulators have forgotten that they didn't exist 100 years ago. Yeah. It's or even less in some cases. They weren't a thing. There was plenty of things flying around then.
And also, what we were flying wasn't a worry to the aviation regulators. I just posted some stuff on Twitter that I found on a drive that goes back to 2005. UAS I designed it. I think that one weighed about 4 kilos, and it was fully autonomous, and it flew around completely legal. There was no rules to stop that going on. But now, 20-gram drone, that's way too expensive, way too dangerous to do.
And Yuri's, yes, it's just someone from 30 years ago ringing to say you're wrong. Yuri's saying, what do you think of net-based systems? Well, their main problem is in most places that they're shotgun cartridge fired. And if you mean big nets, well, yeah, a big net works. Big fishing net, that works. But if you mean net-based fired from a gun, the big problem with those is they're fired from a gun and they come under firearms regulations because it's coming out of a shell.
If you mean internet, you'll have to have ID and proof that you're over 16 to use one.
That's right. In Australia from December the 10th.
And the UK. And the UK.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. Didn't know it was going to the UK as well.
And Indonesia. Was it Malaysia now? I think have done it too.
Truly Asia. Rev's drunk. Well, good for you. You must be down the pub with Stephen then. Now I've forgotten. Here we go. Here comes that dementia again. I've forgotten how I was thinking of a thing to run in with that, but I've forgotten it. Someone else talk about something else.
The question I can't remember now because so much has gone on in the EU.
Oh yeah, it's been that question. Yeah,
it's been absolutely insane. Did we mention last week about? Because I can't remember if it come out then or not. The investigative journalist that found out that agreed that what we said all along was right, that the drone in Belgium at Brussels airport was a helicopter.
I think we did briefly mention, but what we haven't mentioned this week for certain, because we've only just started, is the continued hate towards you from Belgium, because apparently on this very stream last week, we insulted the entire country and even the ministers. So
he's gone to sleep.
Belgium, of course.
To address that.
We need to sell our shares in Belgium then, if our life's been threatened.
Sell our shares in Belgium.
I'll
do it.
I don't think it was last week. I think it was probably the week before because it was when Weber was on here, I think.
Okay.
Unless I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, it was that one. But there was one gentleman who was very, very, very upset. And what's happened this week, of course, is the BBC's reopened. That was this week, wasn't it? The Lakenheath.
Yes, Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. Since we last been on, the BBC have just made up a story, or actually they're telling the narrative that another group of enthusiasts, that's not us, would like told, and that group is Ian. You can go with this one.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy about it, to be honest. Probably that's putting it mildly, actually. But yeah, but, I ended up having a chat with journalists that did that because it's been decent in the past, but this was, and I did get input into it at the last minute to sort of put some of the. It's not just drone industry points there. To me, it's the sanity of it, because what's happening is the UAP community are trying to hijack the Lakenheath thing to make out, oh, well, it's UFO, just for going to old logs where the helicopter pilot is saying, oh, well, I think we're going after a drone or that. That's exactly what they thought at the time. We all know this. It's because Suffolk police had tasked them against a drone. So the poor helicopter crew probably never knew, because what has come out in Freedom of Information, I can't remember whether we covered this last week or not, but it was just a normal member of the public that had seen presumably lights in the sky. He'd called the police. So it goes to the local police, it's Suffolk police. They then went and told MPAS, well, you need to go and get your helicopter. There's drones up at Lakenheath. So they've flown up there in good faith under the full belief there is a drone. So all the logs say, drone, obviously. But we know that UCAB have done the investigation. It used radar and all that. But it's just people playing mischief with because there is now no case, essentially. There is no criminal case to answer for. There's no excuse for the freedom of information to be hindered. So people have just gone on freedom of information, the old stuff that we couldn't get before, and then they're trying to bring that up again. But it's just disappointing that the BBC have allowed that kind of silly game to be played, because really they've done it because the Daily Mail were doing that. But the BBC shouldn't be chasing the Daily Mail on things. It should be, well, if they want to do that, let them. So although this is far more, it's far more rational than any, by a long stretch of what's in the Daily Mail, it still is adding that murkiness that didn't ever need to be added. Because, if you said to MPAS just straight out, you have no doubt it's everything as it's UCAB have said. They would tell you that that's exactly how it was, and they probably didn't even realise that this was the kind of nonsense that was being played with it. But what's gone on with it, it's even gone past the Daily Mail and then not being on the BBC. It's ended up in Fox News in the US, because it's really just feeding the US obsession with UFOs. But it's just disappointing to be having to fight something that had already been boxed off, and all that work that's gone into it to say, and talk about it seriously. It's a serious airspace matter. And the trouble is, when these journalists are doing this, they're trying to stir up the New Jersey kind of panic thing going on, and they could contribute to an air accident in future, because this problem we're having in Europe, and this is why I get frustrated with the BBC not doing, very good. Well, they're doing absolutely abysmal reporting on drones in Europe, and especially when they ran that video of what was a helicopter. If the media run video of manned aviation and tell people this is a drone, people are going to have that in their head, and this will include security. It will include people in the armed forces of that, because they're still watching the same news we're all watching. And then next time when they're down at an airfield and they've got their new Zappa gun, they're going to go, oh, that looks like that drone the BBC had on.
But I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with whatever it was, 30. I'm going to shoot the thing out the sky. Come on. Come on.
Get the cannon out and let's blast the thing. At least it looked like, with that cannon-based malarkey, it did look to have the head on it, didn't it? The video, the optical. So I'm assuming you will be seeing quite clearly what you are shooting at. So you would hope,
wouldn't you? You would hope, yeah.
You would hope. But again, if you have got that hyped up and panicked, and you have got that very black, covert-looking helicopter that's far whisper quiet compared to a normal helicopter, because it hasn't got a real tail rotor, it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
They're not whisper quiet. They make a weird old noise, those things.
Well, yeah,
but look, this is the reason I wanted to put this one up is. And the Daily Mail one is written by US senior news reporter and Chris Sharp. But this this exactly undoes everything we discovered about this case. It just puts it back to evasive actions from UFO or drone or whatever. So, yeah, targeted by UFO. So all they've done is they've just replaced the word drone with UFO, and run the story again. It's super lazy, isn't it? Really, a year later.
And the only benefit out of this, though, is I've still got stuff going on with Lake and Heath, and if it needs to, it'll go to tribunal and so on. So we may get some sanity back out, and that in itself can be a story. There's a video still to come out, and it can obviously be packaged in some sanity. And to his credit, no one's asked him, he's done it off his own back again. Mick West, seeing all that nonsense, has put the MPAS flight into SITREC. So you can now see the MPAS flight from the ground. So all that stuff they're trying to say, it was a UFO whizzing about the sky and doing things UFOs can't, load of nonsense, things that an F-15 can't. It's because they weren't looking at F-15, they were looking at a helicopter that can just stop and hover and turn. Funnily enough, helicopters can do that.
Yeah.
So what he was really, I think what he'll be trying to show is that these maneuvers that people are trying to milk into something they're not, you can just explain from looking at the ADSB, from seeing it rendered in the sky, from looking at it from the ground.
Well, I think the well, I would first off, I think I'd always ask a Ukrainian now as to what you do. Then, secondly, well, my opinion is, and I'll let Bruce give his opinion, is detection first. Before you try and mitigate anything, you've got to know what you're trying to mitigate. So detection would be my first point.
What people need to be doing as well is they need to be integrating. You need to have a view where ADSB is put there in real time, and anything else you've got that can add in and say what you're looking at here is definitely a manned aircraft, because that's the bit that's missing even with with a lot of the counter drone, because all it's trying to say is a drone there or not, and that's not enough. You need to be a drone isn't there and an aircraft is there. You need that confirmation, and that's what's missing at the minute, and that's going to be the difference between somebody firing a gun at something or not. And that actually over the weekend has come out as well, because for people who don't know, there's been an incident in Netherlands, an air base, and they were trying to be coy about it. They just said they had used weaponry against a drone. Now, it just happens then near a residential area. And if you're near a residential area, it's probably not a good idea to be firing ammunition into the air at something that isn't there. So they were trying to make it all murky. Go, well, we're not going to tell you if we were shooting a rifle. We're not going to tell you if we were shooting a jammer rifle. We're just going to tell you we've got both of those, and we will leave it at that. And it's like, no, you're not leaving it at that. Because it is important either way, and even if it had been a jammer gun, again down at Mick West, he's put the air traffic above the base, and it happened on that evening. It was a clear evening. You could see air traffic, and it was air traffic that was going towards the base. So as you're not seeing it go left to right, it's actually just coming towards you. It looks like a hovering drone. So there was a lot of this air traffic that looked like what they were saying of we've got these hovering drones. So with some of the jammer guns, they've got a pretty decent range. You know, you're looking at like 7 kilometers. There might be ones that do far more for all I know, but I've just been looking at a few particular ones. So
those are the claims anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, this is a claim from the RAF, so you would think they would know, wouldn't you? So they've suggested they've tested it to 7 kilometers.
That's just like the NATO forces that bought those bomb detectors that didn't work.
Oh,
you can't trust anybody.
I was going to say this thing works, but it'll just depend on the aircraft and where you are to the airport and so on, what height it's going to be at. But sooner or later, it's inevitable. One of these things they are shooting is going to either cause an incident with an aircraft, or it's going to hurt someone on the ground, and that was it. A couple that live nearby say on that evening they heard 4 shots. So it's it's now looking like they have gone kinetic. And using the SUAS News press account, we've asked the armed forces there if they did, and they've decided not to reply, or at least so far. So the very fact they're not that keen to reply is usually an indication that they're uncomfortable giving a negative on the question, because it's asked, can you confirm or deny if you use kinetics? It's an important question, because if they have, there's a good chance those bullets were landing on someone's house.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me is I don't care about kinetics of rifles and 30mm cannons, because parabolic arc, if your object is a lot further away than you think, you'll never hit it because your point of aim will be significantly out. It's if they start breaking out surface-to-air missiles or something, which will actually track the thing and go all the way to the target. That's when you really got to start worrying.
Well, the point with this one, Bruce, though, is it is still a risk, because if you're shooting kinetic, there's going to be some poor sucker that's out in their garden. They're going to the shed late at night.
Well, that's their own fault for going out after dark.
They're going out to put some food for the hedgehog, and before you know it, boom, right in the eye.
But if you should come and live in New Zealand, I had a house in the country, and there were bullet holes or bullet indents in the windowsills of the windows where people go out shooting possums and things at night, and the bullets do the nice parabolic arc from a mile away and make a dent in your window frame if you're lucky.
Yeah, that happens here. But I'm talking about places with random shooting. Hello, Josh. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
We're very good, and we're just glad that you're here, so that we can manage you.
Was it supposed to be at 4 or 5? Normally, you guys don't start for half hour.
No, we start on the hour.
Time zone change or something? I don't know. Usually, I don't know. I'm confused with the time zone.
It has changed the entire hour, Josh. It was normally, well, it has for me anyway. It was 10 o'clock.
You people that do daylight saving, I can't be held responsible for your own nation's decisions. I just wanted to put up another jamming thing while we're here, which is beginning to annoy the annoying thing out of me now. This is a military training area in the UK, Senny Bridge, and they trial stuff. And over there's one at Hereford. I wonder who might live at Hereford. What's this one say? Oh, no, it's that one. That's a different one. I wonder who would live there. But anyway, Pontrillus. Those that know. But this yellow area, which you can see goes a long way, in actual fact, it goes 72 nautical miles from Senny Bridge. It's an area of GPS jamming trials, and people are going every day. Someone new is discovering it in the UK groups and saying, "What's this all about? What's happening? How dare they? Who did this?" It's like these happen all the time. And am I expecting too much for people in our community to know what this sort of thing means? Should or am I? Because I'm getting quite angry by it. But am I overdoing it? Shouldn't people know?
You're probably exposed to it. We're doing the news, pointing it up every day, so you'll be used to it. But there'll be a lot of operators that aren't. They'll just mainly be working around locally. Locations they know very well. So they might even be like, well, they don't look at the apps even so much because they don't need to, because it's known areas, and then they'll get that job. The odd job here or there where it's further afield. And then
there are a million Uber drivers sitting in cul-de-sacs somewhere wondering why they're lost?
Well, no, not really, because it's telling you there's the potential of it, and it's a cone coming out from a ground station in crinkly bits of Wales. So there's potential. If you're at 40,000 feet in your airliner, it might make a difference. But it really outside of terrain, it's not going to make any difference at all. We zoom in. We need to find a terrain. I should have found a terrain map. Zoom out, maybe it'll. But all of this bit of Wales is very bumpy, so a lot of that signal is not going to be escaping out over here. But there's an abundance of caution with it. So it's certainly not going to wallop into the ground-based stuff.
I was going to say that it'll be done with a large you'd have thought contingency on there so that really you're not really going to be expected to be hit by it unless you were very close up, and presumably they're not going to be continually jamming or such like. It will be
No,
set tests they're doing. They're just doing. We've got to blank it out so that we can do things when we need to do them, I would imagine.
Yeah. No, I'm just amazed that people don't know about this sort of thing. I am amazed. It blows my mind. I'm busy Googling the Thursday War. I don't know if it still happens. I think it might. I think it
like
might.
a Rastafarian conference, isn't it?
So you know what?
Is it?
Yeah, all that jamming.
Well, you know what's interesting? Jamming. There's a big Ottawa in counter drone detection future takeout going on right now in Ottawa. You guys, have you guys seen any of that content and all the drones bombing around?
I was aware it was on. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. They've got 20 different detection systems operating in like a 4-block square, and they've got different teams of drones flying around. So, like, I know we have a customer. Well, all the drones have our product on them because they wouldn't get the regulatory approval to fly over people. But it's pretty cool. There's can I show you guys something? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can. You can. While you're getting that ready, I'll just say this Thursday War. So every Thursday, well, not every Thursday, but a good number of Thursdays, because you wouldn't have a war on a Friday because it's Saturday the next day. They fire all sorts of things in the Bristol Channel, and I know some. Whatever was it, the Prowlers or whatever that came off the ships back in the day, the American things, they switched off TV in southern UK one day in this war with their electronics countermeasures back in the 80s, back in the day. But let's go to Josh's. Okay, fire away with the more sticky drone. Yes, tardiness, time shifter on. Well, you won't get away with that next week. Okay, Josh, what were you going to show us?
Yeah, I'll show you the government's page first.
The government.
The government. Okay, wait. Can you see the entire screen here?
No.
Sharing.
Here we go. Add to stage.
Yeah, so they've got this urban environment. So, Parliament, DJI M350, AVSS system there, but 16 companies. Up for grabs is 1.7. So they got 20K to participate, and then there's prize money. And these are all the companies being tested at all the tech. So you've got mostly Canadian, I thought one Australian, 2, I guess UK. But these are all detection. So the challenge was detect and kinetic effectors, but kinetic effectors aren't being tested right now. So it's just the detection systems.
Have you got a link to that page? Just posted it later. In private chat or something, because I'll bookmark that.
Well, yeah, I can send you that as well. As this is actually pretty cool. This is the red team, I guess, who's flying around. So they've been posting just the different flights that they're doing, the locations. Like, this is 2 seconds away from our Parliament, and I'll be able to. I think, Let's see here. So yeah, this is straight up downtown, just buzzing around. And then you've got day 2s today. So yeah, this is them flying towards Parliament. And so I don't know exactly all the details on how they're doing it. And are they doing these guys are just doing the flying. I don't know how the detection's working. If it's okay, it's your turn to detect the drones, or if everyone's operating the whole time. I'm not sure what the metrics are, but yeah, it's complete urban testing, go down and fly. Pretty cool environment. And actually what's really funny though, is a few tin hats have come out. This is pretty funny. So the city, everyone's posting it. So there's a lot of public disclosure, and you see the comments about slingshot buying, of course. People like to comment on our yellow hat, which is great. But then you've got people, target practice. Oh yeah, now you got the civilian surveillance. It's pretty interesting. This person thinks it's illegal, and one of those rules for us, not them. And it's a funny perspective of just the general population, because this is the city's Facebook page. You can go and see too, there's news articles trying to make a story of something that like, hey man, they're out there being public about what's going on. All disclosures there.
The thing is, Josh, though, they're doing it wrong. Now,
Why?
they should have me there, because I'll tell you what I do now, because this is how you test it properly, is you say, this is my big drone, get ready to detect it. So I fly it up over one of the buildings, and then plonk it down, land it, turn it off, tell them it's flying about for the next 2 weeks, and that's why they're not detecting it. Now, that's really what's going on in Europe at the minute, and just see the consequences of that. Teach people the lessons of the problems of nothing being there. And but
if you were a bad actor, now would be the perfect time to do something evil, wouldn't it? Because they're expecting drones in the sky.
Yeah. No, exactly. But how else are you supposed to test without it, right?
Well, it's cool that your parachutes are on it. So you say your parachutes on every single machine taking part.
No, on the drones, not obviously where the parachute, but maybe there could be a parachute on a detection system. I don't know why, but basically, yeah, for them to get compliance to fly over people in Canada, you need to be on this list, and whoever they chose for contractor, they had, I guess they acquired 20 of our systems to do it. So they're out. They've got it's all week long. There's also a nighttime. It's pretty cool to see, and like there's military and policing from all over the world that have come in to watch this. It's quite a big event.
It'd be very interesting to see if there's an increase in drone sightings in the weeks after it's finished.
You know what?
I wonder if anyone misidentified those drones as manned aircraft at night.
Well, I don't know when the night flight is, because I don't think it's happened yet. I don't know the schedule. Like, we're on the outside. I'm just like 20 minutes. I live actually 4 minutes from where they're going to be doing the flying. Well, where they are doing the flying. So like maybe I'll see something tonight and I'll call. You know what I'll do? I'll go on my rooftop. I've got like a 30-floor top spot I can get to. I'll zoom in and take a really bad photo, and then I'll post it that the drones are coming into everywhere, and then we'll see what happens.
They came out of a Russian submarine in the harbor, did they?
And it's military airspace.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'd be. Have you got any ESP32s in your office?
Yeah, do some spoofing. No one listens to the
I'd be. I bet some of the systems do, and I would. You can put a swarm in the air with an ESP32. If you have a look on the channel, I made a video about how to do that. It's not hard at all. So you could go to a building and put, but you can bring them up minute by minute. You don't have to bring them all up. Pow! You can bring 1 up, 2 up, 3 up. Just pop them up.
This is probably the time to go. Like, if anyone's using machine vision, like a spray drone, go up, spray it, just like get the camera all wet so they can't see anything. That could be a way to do it to cause confusion.
Or you could also you could just put some drone outlines if you can get to a tall building, and just go across with a cardboard cutout drone and see if the visuals detect it.
Every micro drone operator in Canada should roll up with their drone turned on in their backpack and wander around the city for a while.
That'd be an interesting.
It could be a fun place to be.
What bothers me with some of the counter drone tests, obviously I don't know what equipment they've got going on there, but you see these counter drone trials, and it's always a DJI Phantom and a Mavic, and you're like, wait a minute, you might as well not even call this a test, because you're putting the stuff out there you're guaranteed to detect. I want to see a counter drone test where you've got someone there that's specifically tasked to put stuff up that's going to be really, really difficult, and really, then you'll separate the systems apart to who really is nailing it and who's got some way to improve.
Good luck on them, I say, because I think this is the first proper urban environment test that I've heard of. And let's imagine there are 20 people going about their business in the city as normal, perfectly legally doing their operational work. It would be interesting to see, and I don't know what the control device would be, but if a few of them were detectable in the normal ways, and they could say, hey, did you all see that one that was doing that commercial job over there, or that one that was down there doing this, that, or the other? It could be very interesting.
Presumably, Sorry, I was going to say they'll be learning there for the counter drone teams as well, because normally, as you mentioned, they'll be out in a field and it's all clear, and presumably with the Golden Glass and that, you're going to get the radar deflecting. If you've got that, if you've got an EOIR sensor, you're going to have numerous of them, because lots of them are going to have the view blocked by other buildings. You're going to have a lot of just physical challenges.
Well, do you guys actually want to see where they're? Do you want to see like the mapping of where they're actually testing and like the environment?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right, let me just pull this up.
Wouldn't it be fun if they actually supplied real-time data for people to compare and contrast?
Oh, they are definitely, like, this is part of it. Like, I think they're actually saying, like, because like this is like from my understanding, they put out 20K to like just like get people to show up, cover costs, but like whoever had stuff, there's money on the table for the winners, and then I assume, I don't know, that they'll then probably get some contracts eventually. Like, this is like ecosystem development / spurring some development. So if we look here, all right. So if we look here, this is Ottawa. Lots of red. So we go advanced, get it to yellow. But this is the actual location. So they're testing. I know that this is the central area, I believe. So they're going down Kent and something. So this is the area. Let's go. Can we do?
I tell you what, they need to learn how to draw circles.
And this is, so what type of airspace? This is Class F. So this is where they're coming in, flying, and doing the activities.
But is that some sort of foreshore park there? Is that some sort of recreation area that we're looking at under your cursor now, and by the side of the river?
This is Parliament.
Oh, that's Parliament. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. This is where the truckers hang out.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you know that sort of a thing. Well, I was just, it'd be interesting to see if they're covering an area where there might be lots of recreational flyers. Interesting they're going over Parliament. Why do you think, other than it's a big target, is that the reason they're there?
I think it was just like, if we go to the Urban Challenge, what do they say here? They said they wanted to test a specific. So the challenge was operating the urban environment, so it's about urban that. It's a bunch of text. Let me just find out why. So the purpose of this challenge, the following definition are used. So they wanted to test micro and mini. Micro is under 2 kg, up to 200 feet. Mini UAS is 2 to 15. I don't know why they came up with these names. So they were doing active, passive detection, operating outcomes. There's a whole book here talking about it. But I believe it was just like they wanted 4 city blocks as the area. So I think they were trying to figure out what is an ideal. And so I think CAF came up with this. I don't actually know how they came up with that, like all the details, but I believe that was because this was from like 2 years ago. And this is the final kind of like validation test. And they're holding another one next year. So every year it seems like Canada's doing like counter drone. When they want to do kinetic effectors, they do it, from what I understand, out west at one of the bases, and they like light them up with either, shotguns to lasers to everything in between.
And I'm sure we've all seen. You reminded me then that I think, is it Florida that's using all the confiscated DJI drones for target practice? I think it's Florida.
I saw that. It's like I know there's people that use like FPVs for target practice. So like, I don't know.
Might as well. It might as well. And something I did want to remember to share, because that's taken me around to DJI going away, that there is this. I am going to do the unusual step of putting it in the comments. But if you are after finding out some recommendations or some templates, there's all sorts of things. Have I gone to sleep?
You had momentarily.
Well,
but you wouldn't remember because of the dementia.
Exactly. I am in a completely another dimension. That's very true. Yeah, but it's very interesting thing to go through if you are in America and want some recommendations and templates from the government about what you're going to use next January, because and people still think that's going to, I don't know, where do we think, what percentage are we at now? 80-20 it's going to happen? Or is it 100% it's going to happen still?
I don't know. It's like, DJI seems to be aggressive with their messaging last week on, hey, you've got a couple weeks before it should happen. So that's concerning. Probably didn't help that they went on furlough for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, right? So anyone who was having it on their file probably said shit. And then
yeah, that will definitely have moved it up the time scale a bit. And then, well, it's I think it's Thanksgiving coming up there, and then it's the Christmas holidays, isn't it? So they are actually
this week.
Yeah. Is it the week or is it the weekend or something? I never know.
It starts on Thursday, but people travel Wednesday, Tuesday. So it's kind of like people are basically out of office starting today, I think.
Yeah. So there's another week gone added to that. DJI just released the Mavic 3 Thermal Advance. Yeah, they're stuffing out all sorts of things at the moment, including the one that Bruce isn't going to buy. But yeah, no, they're doing all sorts of stuff, and I don't think they're going to worry. But their shills are definitely working overtime at the minute, as Josh has suggested. So they are, aren't they? They're breaking out the cash, but doesn't include me, you, Ian. we're not on the list. We're not on the list.
We can't be bought for any price.
No. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about 10,000 ESPs?
Well, I think I don't know. I can't be bought. Oh, I know what I was going to ask the dear viewers on this one, and you guys as well, because this is now it seems to have turned into Counter Drone Weekly, doesn't it? But how are we going to make this hangout different in 2026? What are we going to do to change things up a bit? We've been doing this for years and haven't changed.
First of all, we've got to stop under 16-year-olds from looking at this stuff. It's not suitable.
You've got to have an intro bit, a bit of CG logo-y thing going on, SUS News at the start. That in first. You then need your LED lights behind you, that little looking.
Right, yeah, a ring light thing, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lots of retro stuff you can see clearly on the shelf and stuff like that. So you definitely have to make the backdrop into a set. So
I think you should make it so
whatever it's called, and all the buttons down there, so you can do all fancy effects and all that malarkey.
I would argue you should do if you send me a press release, you have to do a live demo on Tuesday for 3 minutes. So every Tuesday,
I try and do that.
No,
be more assertive, Gary.
I won't post until you give me 3 minutes of live demo time.
But then he'd have nothing to post. And he's frozen up again. Look at that.
Potentially a better internet connection for me as well.
Yeah,
video feed, it doesn't fit exactly, Simon. It would be a step up. Funny, fibre has reached the village. We're 20 kilometres out of the village.
In South Africa, it's hemp, isn't it? That kind of fibre.
It is.
You've got to keep it down.
Yeah. It's sustainable and all that sort of thing, isn't it? Very, very strong. Yeah, no, you're right. I should do that more. You're absolutely right. There's a Ukraine. If you're watching Ukrainian company, you know who you are. I'm talking to you now. Well, Josh is, because Josh has made the rule.
Are you going to run around the battlefields and wind up all the optical fiber and run it from your house down to the town?
God, yeah, that's right. It would be the cheap option, wouldn't it?
Hey, there's a thought, though, isn't it? A drone for laying optical fiber for temporary connections. Just buy one of those drones with the optical thing. When he gets the other end, snip it off, connect it up. Where you go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can fiber optic be recycled?
You probably make it into lovely lamps or something,
Yeah.
Remember those old lamps?
Yes. It's a fiber destiny. Yeah, you
knit it into a lovely jumper.
Yes, fibers. The power's been quite good here at the minute. Yuri, I'm in the Drakensberg. I'm in Nottingham. Power's been quite good apart from big storms.
You're getting
We've had some
power by Bluetooth now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Because they stole the copper. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't got copper wires around here for miles and miles and miles. And as I've said before, all the farmers, all of us have stolen the poles because we can use them for something else. So, no, sorry, they burnt in when we were making fire breaks. They burnt, and so obviously one had to remove the hazard by cutting them down. That's what happened. You're on.
I'm thinking actually when it gets around to Christmas, there's a little Christmas present for you. We could do a little animated intro and a jingle and singing. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Oh,
Is
he's like a kid with a new toy, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
Can you make
Yes.
it? Can you do some like CGI AI Gary as Santa?
Absolutely.
I have a
Singing.
question. I have a quick question. You two are
Go on.
2 out of the 4 people here are kind of Santa demographic based on their beards.
Yeah.
So my question is, in your countries, you guys follow this Santa Claus thing. Do you think Santa Claus has to do background checks to have a job? I'm just wondering about this. Are there like thorough
probably
checks?
what in that
Absolutely.
he's entering children's bedrooms late at night. That's what
Well, I mean, at like the mall.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like SantaCheck.com?
Oh.
Like, this is a Santa contractor. He's done his background. He's done blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Like, does this exist in
Yeah,
your
they do.
countries?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
The days
those ones.
The days of this bad Santa movie, they're over.
Yeah, no.
So he ruined it. Billy Bob Thornton ruined it. You're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think everyone follows the Coca-Cola man, don't they? Well, I know one thing I would like to do is somehow be able to get our dear viewers on here more easily when we're chatting and getting their input, because we've definitely got some loyal viewers. You know who you are, and I really do appreciate you. And somehow we're going to get you in here a bit more.
Your cheap content.
Yeah, and what you need is, I do think, as you mentioned earlier, there should be more counter-drone content, because when you're in the drone
Maybe
space,
stuff.
I mean, you don't learn that much about, or you don't know, and you don't really need to know, but it is nice to know about counter-drone, because I only got into it because I've had to do all these leading freedom of informations and get involved with the press with trying to, decouple all the narrative around every incident that happens. And it's like, wait a minute, it can't
Well,
be that because you haven't got this system or that system. And getting, you realize once you know a bit more, you can see how journalists are being blagged and how ministers try and blag the public. We've seen that with Eindhoven this week, the airport, and they were trying to make out they had it under control, and they had some assets there that were taking sort of the lead and sorting it all out. And then you read the ATC logs, and it's like literally everyone's looking at the sky with their eyes for about 4 hours, and in the end they just reopen it because the lights that they think are there have gone away, and then that's basically what had actually happened. So I think having those insights, especially if people are doing stuff more at the cutting edge and trying stuff out that hasn't been tried to find, and say, well, I've got this really good idea in the counter-drone space, and this is a bit about it. That would be, it'd be quite interesting.
Well, the unfortunately, the reason we've got to keep an eye on as normal drone or model aircraft users keep an eye on the counter drone industry is that it's causing issues for us with its false promises and its made up threats. Because let's face it, if somebody wanted to do a job, they would do a job and they get it done. Now there would be you wouldn't know, even with the trials that are going on there. Somebody could still get through that trial.
Well, what's come out of the Europe thing is nothing was, even though Gatwick, we can safely say if that was a mistake, irrespective of that, it still showed you the lesson that when people panic, things go out of, any common sense goes out of the window, and you need a way to reel all the common sense back in, get people to calm down and get back operating. And that's where your counter drone comes in. And what we've seen is that Europe hasn't invested. The airports haven't invested. They've all just been arrogant about it. Of, oh, well, we're not spending money, or if we do, we're buying something cheap. You know, we can see the reality of that is that you're at the mercy of any of these panics, and as you've been proven right, as we mentioned last week, Gary, that, you know, it genuinely is the case, but provable now that all you need to do is make a phone call and you can cause absolute mayhem. It was quite interesting. I hadn't had a chance to fully look at it now, but for be a few people here that are aware, on X, they've turned on a feature in the last week or so where it shows where people really are. So there are a lot of people that might be pretending they're Americans and they're not. You know, they're over from other side of the world. But it was interesting. We kind of knew this anyway for what's going on, but you can see how a lot of the hysteria when something's going on is being fueled from America by the UAP community. There's even accounts that have said, you know, that say they're English or European, and you look at them, and actually, you can see now they're actually posting and are based in America. So I just thought it'll be interesting to have a look. I mean, at least in future now we'll be able to see that, so it won't be hidden. But there's very little that I could see of any actual UK-based accounts that were making noise about Lakenheath last year. It was all US and trying to get clips, often not, you know, that would have been dragged up from New Jersey or something else in the past, regurgitated and then tried to be passed off as though there was something going on in this country. So it's I would like to look into that more to see if there is any insights that we can get out of that, just see any trends in the past.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting. There's two ways of looking at the trends. The panic knock-on effect timeline, how it goes, how long. I think how the story goes is you get a sighting in night one, and then nothing happens in the day, and night two you get more sightings, and so on and so on. How's poorly? Very poorly. That's exactly right. SCS News is funded by.
But we'll have sponsorship from the drone detect companies soon, won't we? All these, the UAS, they'll be sponsoring. Get their position on the screen here.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. It is where the money is, isn't it?
And now a word from our sponsor, D-Drone. Have you got problems with drones?
D-Drone, we have mentioned them for a while, haven't we? Absolutely. Yeah, what was I going to say to Ian Singh? Here it comes. Here's my dementia again. He's
distracted. He's not even looking anymore. He's busy playing something else.
He's busy. Yeah, what's he gone off to do now? He's got a drone gun.
3D printed gun. Look at that.
He's got a drone gun. Excellent.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, pew, pew. Yeah,
he's got everything, that guy. He's got lenses and guns and things. It's Christmas coming up. What do you get the man who has everything? Penicillin?
Well, I think that man's not going to knock a wall down with that.
Judging by the way, he thinks we can hear him, but he's just totally
he's
muted.
An awful lot stronger than you.
Oh, so I was on mute. I was going to say, this is my backup counter drone system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Works on police officers too, I read in the news.
Or a cricket bat will be another thing to do. Yeah. Well, we definitely need to get more people on next year. Definitely, any of the dear viewers. I need to a way of easily.
And we need to get a whole Canadian, not one from just the nose up.
Nope. My problem is I can't sit up straight. I have to lean forward. It's a bad habit. Otherwise, I'm like this, and I feel like a stiff. Proper.
So Canadians come and hold you. I should be going there next year for the Argipilot conference. So,
yeah, that's actually 10 minutes from here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh dear, maybe it's a reason to not go then. Is that 10 minutes from your office? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh no,
maybe 20 with traffic, 60 minutes with traffic. It's 15, 20 kilometers. We'll keep it with that. 10 miles for those who are freedom unit based.
Living in the dark ages. Yeah.
Living in the dark ages.
Yeah, with imperial measurements. Goodness me, we've all moved on from there.
No, you know what? Where I'm from, we talk about kilometers and feet, inches, and Like we hybrid it.
Yeah, but it just makes it so much easier when it's kilometers.
Yeah, we
and
still measure
liters.
our pyramids with cubits. So
Yeah, pyramids. Of course you do. Look, we've definitely gone into nonsense mode, and it's nearly the hour up. We're going to get
Gary,
this
we
wrong.
never
I'm going
left
to
it
get.
for a moment.
I'm going to get this. It's very true. We've gone over the hour. I've got that bit wrong. So, before we go, any more for any more?
Yes.
Going once,
Yes.
twice. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Cram at least.
Go
for
ahead,
one.
Bruce.
I was going to say with you going on about the counter drone malarkey. There's been quite a lot of that annoyingly on LinkedIn over the last week. Again, people trying to capitalise over the EU. So
Yeah.
I try not to type on LinkedIn again, but I unfortunately have been drawn in a few times. I just haven't say, hang on a minute. Especially because people keep bringing up stuff like Oslo, where it's already the police have already done and dusted and said no evidence of drones, and it's like, at least if you're going to try and milk something, keep up to date and know which ones you can actually legitimately get away with. But that shows you how this has been allowed to go on, and people just post up. They're not even checking themselves. They're just, I've seen it in the Daily Mail or whatever. I will post it as fact. And that frustrates me, because if I was banging on about something, I'd at least know what I was banging on about and be able to justify it and say, I've got my view for this. I've done this bit of it. And it's really frustrating that you don't see anywhere near enough of that when it comes to any of the negative stuff, or trying to sell your counter drone gear. I did see someone jump in about that actually, which was refreshing. Saying that if you've got to be negative to sell your counter drone system, it does show a degree of desperation in that, because you should be able to make positive arguments for your solution and why it's good. And at least there was one guy I kind of slightly jumped on yesterday, just because he posted all the stuff I had Oslo and everything in. But at least he was good when I said it, and he he was like more or less fair enough, and he made the comment himself of along the lines of, you don't even need a drone these days to cause a panic, which we can all agree on. I'm like, yeah, no, you made a good point there. That's something that so many people just don't grasp. So that's just been the thing that's irked me this week.
Well, good to know, Ian.
You
And in New Zealand, DJI
Yeah.
has removed geofencing. Finally, at last, they've removed the geofencing from their drones. And I suggest to CAA that they publish a little press release advising DJI drone owners not to rely on the geofencing that doesn't exist anymore when flying near airports, because a lot of DJI drone owners just rely on the fact, I can't fly here. And once that's gone, they'll fly in stupid places. And I will be returning to our local council tomorrow to record the meeting. It'll be so exciting. I'm sure the mayor will welcome me with open arms and make a lovely video.
And is this the one where you're going to push to get back to the airfield again?
No, I'm just going to go and film what's happening. We've got some new councillors. I want to see which of them are honouring their promises and which aren't. But I've got an initiative underway. I'll be posting a video on how we twist their arms to get back on the airfield. That will take place fairly soon.
And you're right. You had a video. If you haven't seen it, dear viewer, look for Bruce's video about he's just being a sad sack, lonely old bloke flying in a field. And you're right that there is a camaraderie to it when you go out with other people to go and re-kit your model gear.
It's like trying to play tennis on your own. It's no fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be interested to see how you get on with RID. It's a done deal in the UK, and people are only and the argument of, well, they'll never find me anyway because I'm in a field. People really haven't picked up the fact there are companies stood up to detect RID as a service,
and it has to come. It's been so damn effective to date. You can't argue with that record.
I have to say, I have noticed in the commercial ops actually a lot of people saying they're not happy about it. About the pilot position, which we've said all along. People that are even, normally they're they don't have an issue with regulation. The more, even people that will kind of applaud it and don't see some of the negative downsides. People that always have a kind of a positive view on it are even thinking that bit of RID's a step too far. I still, it's just annoying. I've had so many other things on because I still feel that it is warranted to go to the ICO still, I think, on that. So I might still ping them an email and then put something out and say, people, you can follow this, and then at least some people can put the voices in, and you never know, they might start looking into it, because it doesn't matter even if it's come in and they still have a look at it and say, well, we don't like these bits, sort them out. You're still having you're still then having your voice heard and possibly some improvements out of the back end of it, but who knows? But I kind of think that there's no harm in raising your voice about these concerns, because these are the kind of things the Information Commissioner should be thinking about anyway. And it will be down, but it'll be down to a volume of people doing it. It's it's like with the Ofcom complaints a number of weeks ago. There'd probably been a dozen of us. We've got an industry. There's a drone industry of 5,000 commercial ops, or 7,000, or whatever it is, and then you've got over 200,000 hobbyists. When we're getting these really poor reports by the BBC of that, we should be hitting them in thousands. If we did that, even if there were 500, it'd be enough to knock it on the head. Especially at the moment when they're properly, under the microscope. Which reminds me, actually, there was another piece by the BBC from Frank, what's his face? I think Frank Gardner, is it surname? But it was completely ignored all the false positives. Made it out to be Russia again, and this is interesting. It came out today in the Netherlands. They put out their press release kind of thing that says, "Oh, we're spending, that thing we've shown the 30mm cannon and all this. Saying we're buying all of this." It started off saying because Russia, and by the afternoon when people were challenging this, they've actually removed it. So this shows that it isn't a strong narrative, because in no time at all, they've decided, actually, we're not going to put that.
Oh, what a funny world in which we live. So there we are. I think that's probably it. Dear viewers, wherever you are in the world, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again, 2100 Gin and Tonic next week. Look after yourselves wherever you are in the world. Cheers for now. Bye.